So my name is Michael DeLue. Today is Monday, May 16th, 2022. Today is episode 99. Episode 99 of Pull Up the Tape. I'm really excited. I want to apologize to y'all for getting this episode out to you so late. Honestly, I didn't even think I was going to record because I ended up oversleeping. And I usually don't like to put out episodes unless I'm putting them out on time. But you know what? Nevertheless, it is what it is. It has to go out regardless. I need to start that. That's part of the reason why a lot of episodes never got put out. I was like, if I can't put it out at my allotted time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Standard Time, I don't want to do it. But you know what? In my head now, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just record it anyways. Whatever. I'm gonna just try. I try my best to put it out at a uniform time, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I can make exceptions for some days, and this day has to be one because of what happened yesterday. So yesterday, I'll just jump right into it. Yesterday, the Celtics beat the Bucks 109-81, and as I was watching the game, you know, a lot of people always talk about how it's really important to have Game 7 on your home court. I don't necessarily feel that way, and part of the reason why I picked the Bucks to win the game is because the Bucks are battle tested and they're proven. Last year in the playoffs, they had to win a Game 7 on the road, and they did that against the Nets. So I just felt like they'd be able to replicate the same success that they had last year, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And it flashed back to the last game of the season when the Celtics played all their starters so they could win their last game. And, essentially lock down a matchup with the Brooklyn Nets because, one, they wanted to send a message to the league that they weren't afraid of the Nets, that they were going to beat them straight up. And then also, they wanted home court. They want to get home court for as many rounds as they're in the playoffs. And that's exactly what they did. The first 2 rounds of the playoffs, they got home court advantage. And the next one, they will not have home court advantage because they're playing against the Miami Heat. So, as I said, the last game of the season, they played all their starters because they wanted to for 2 reasons. While the Bucks, some people could say they rested their starters because they specifically didn't want to play against Brooklyn, and it cost them because they didn't have home court advantage for this series and ended up playing a Game 7 on the road. Grant Williams, I have to speak on Grant Williams. Grant Williams didn't lead the team in scoring at all. Look. 82-game season, the 82-game season, and so, peep this. So the Celtics played 82 games in the regular season, and they've played 11 games in the postseason. So 11 plus 82 is 93. In the 93 games that they played this season, up until the 93rd, Grant Williams never led the team in scoring, but somehow yesterday he did. Which is crazy to think. But the dude was just wide open. It damn near felt like he was wide open on every single time he touched the ball, every single time he was involved in a play. He was getting uncontested shots after uncontested shot after uncontested shot. The shit was absolutely ridiculous, honestly. I don't even know exactly what the game plan was with the. Why isn't this showing me the fucking god damn? I don't exactly know what the game plan was for the Bucks because it just literally didn't make any sense. I was watching the game like how many wide open threes is Grant Williams gonna get, because it just doesn't make any sense. He was hitting uncontested. Like I'm gonna keep repeating because it just literally made no sense. He was hitting uncontested shot after uncontested shot after uncontested shot. He had, I counted at least like 10 where he was wide open. And I'm watching, I'm like, I don't understand what the game plan is, because in the regular season, Grant Williams was shot over 40% from 3. In the postseason, he's shooting over 40% from 3. Why are they giving this man open shots? I know he's not Stephen Curry, but he's a professional basketball player. He can hit open shots. Grant Williams is 10 for 22 from the field, 7 of 18 from 3, poured in 27 points and 6 rebounds, and he had 2 blocks. Jason Tatum's imprint was all over the game as well. Jason Tatum had 23 points, The next Jaylen Brown had 19 points. Peyton Pritchard had 14 points, came up big in the third and fourth quarter. Marcus Smart had 11. Overall, just a very, very good team effort and team win by the Celtics. Honestly, I honestly didn't give the Celtics a chance to win this series after they went down in Game 5. I thought they would get closed out in Game 6, but Jason Tatum said otherwise, said, fuck no, I ain't going nowhere. That's the song. Ugh. That's exactly what Jason Tatum said. Jason Tatum said, no. And truthfully, that was probably the greatest performance I've ever seen by Jason Tatum. By far the best performance of his career was the Game 6. He had so many fucking points, so many clutch baskets, so many clutch moments. He was not going to be denied. And honestly, without the Celtics are the better team without Chris Middleton. And I'm not one. I don't believe in bringing up injuries or whatever the case may be. But the Celtics are just the better team. Celtics were the better team in the first round. The Nets have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but they're not a better team they weren't a better team than the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics proved that. The Bucks have the best player in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo, but that doesn't make them a better team, especially without Chris Middleton. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not going to sit here and give excuses and say, oh, it's because they didn't have Chris Middleton, because they could have won this series even without him, but they didn't. And especially in the Game 7 situation, I feel like the better team is going to win, and that's exactly what happened. Shout out to the Celtics shout out to Ime Udoka, shout out to the Celtics, because just 5 months ago at the turn of the new year, it was talks that the Celtics should blow it up, not trade Jason Tatum. They should just blow up the whole partnership with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and trade Jaylen Brown and see what they could possibly get. Thank the good Lord they did not do that, because oh my God, that would have been terrible. And because in hindsight, look what they did now. They ended up stringing off, like they made it back to the conference finals. I don't think the Celtics haven't been back to the conference finals since the bubble, and then before that was 2018. So the Celtics went to the conference finals 2018, 2020, and 2022. So the past 5 years, they've went 3 in a row. They've went 3 out of the last 5 years. Credit to the Celtics. It's going to be a really, 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 really entertaining matchup of high-level basketball in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Same thing with the Western Conference playoffs, but I can't wait. I can't wait. Jason Tatum is the superstar player. So you feel me? Checked off KD. Checked off Giannis to see if he could check off Jimmy Butler and make it to the finals. Jason Tatum can make it to the finals, man. That's a big accomplishment. So shout out to the Celtics, man. Shout out to the Celtics for real. I want to talk about the Bucks, because as I was watching the game at the studio yesterday, I was just sitting and I was honestly puzzled, because it just didn't really make sense. Some things weren't adding up. It just weren't really registering with me, because I'm just like, what exactly is going on and why is this happening like this? Because it just doesn't seem, I don't know. I just had so many questions. Yesterday, the Bucks were 4 of 33 from 3. Grant Williams made more threes than the Bucks so from Chris Middleton. Drew Holiday was 0 for 6 from 3. Grayson Allen was non-existent from 3. Pat Connaughton was non-existent from 3. Giannis couldn't hit a 3. Brook Lopez couldn't hit a 3. Fucking Bobby Portis couldn't hit it. It was just all around terrible 3-point performance from the Bucks. And I have to call a spade and address the most glaring issue. Even though they could have won this series without Chris Middleton, they were up 3-2. Not having Chris Middleton came back to haunt them, bite them in the ass, and haunt them, because Chris Middleton is their best scorer. I understand Giannis is their best player. Chris Middleton is their best scorer, and especially in when they run sets and half-court offense, Chris Middleton is their go-to guy. And without Chris Middleton in the rotation, their half-court offense was fucking pathetic. It was fucking pathetic. And this is against the best regular season defense, the best postseason defense, and after Game 6, they just overcommitted to stopping Jason Tatum. They overcommitted to stopping Jason Tatum, because all Jason Tatum did in Game 6 was fucking cook, and cook some more. So it makes sense why they overcommitted to stopping him. But in overcommitting to stopping him, they obviously allowed Grant Williams to get all these open shots and whatever the case may be, and it just came back to haunt them, bite them in the ass. And another thing that I feel like came back to bite the Bucks in the ass was the fact that they didn't re-sign PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker would have been extremely valuable in this series. Extremely. They probably would have won if they had PJ Tucker, specifically because of his defense and his ability to hit corner threes. So much more of the defensive burden was tossed onto Jrue Holiday because Chris Middleton wasn't there and PJ Tucker wasn't there. So the next best defender is Jrue Holiday, and Jrue Holiday has to step it up, has to exert hella energy on the defensive end of the floor in guarding Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and then more is asked of him in terms of scoring because Chris Middleton's not there. They should, bro. And what they did not sign, like PJ Tucker was asking for $15 million for 2 years. I think that's a very team-friendly deal. And you didn't pay him for what? To give Grayson Allen more minutes? Come on now. That's not P. That's not Pusha P. That's not P. That is not P. All right. So now what I really want to talk about is the Mavericks beating the shit out of the Phoenix Suns. The Suns, first of all, the Suns are fucking pathetic. The Suns are fucking pathetic. Let me kick it like this. Let me praise the Mavericks because that they deserve it. They deserve it. The Mavericks beat the Suns. The Mavericks beat the fuck out the Suns 123 to 190. Okay, they beat them by 33 points. But the result score is so much no. The game was out of hand. The game was out of hand after halftime. At halftime. And the Mavericks were up by at one point by 50 points. 50 fucking points. And I want to say something because at the end of the season, at the end of the regular season, when the Mavericks, in the last game of the season, when the Mavericks were trying to, secure the fourth seed, Luka Doncic hurts his I don't know if it was his quad or his hamstring, but he hurt something, all right? Luka hurts his quad or his hamstring, whatever the case may be, and then he's forced to miss the first 2 games of the season first 2 games of the series against the Jazz. And Luka's injury in hindsight was the best thing that happened to the Mavericks because it forced the other guys to be able to have to step up. It forced Jalen Brunson to have to step up. It forced Spencer Dinwiddie to have to step up. It forced Maxi Kleber to have to step up. It's forced a lot of guys to have to step up. So then when Luka Doncic came back, he had dudes that he could rely on. He knew Jalen Brunson could beat damn near anybody off the dribble. Spencer Dinwiddie did the exact same thing. And it made all the difference. Made all the difference. This game was over by halftime. Luka Doncic had 35 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. In watching the game, I just looked at it. I'm like, wow, this is so crazy how effectively Luka is able to dissect the double team and knows exactly what to do. I don't know, Devin Booker, maybe you should take some fucking notes on how to properly handle a double team. Fucking clown. Luka will always get his, but the thing for me was just how the other guys who need to step up in this game did exactly that. Luka dominated early, and then once Spencer Dinwiddie came into the game, the rest of the role players followed suit. Jalen Brunson did his thing. Dorian Finney-Smith did his. Jalen Brunson did his. Look, Jalen Brunson did his thing. Spencer Dinwiddie did his thing, and they did exactly what they were supposed to. And also, I want to give major props to Jason Kidd, man. This is exactly why Jason Kidd and not Frank Vogel should have been the head coach of the Lakers in 2019. This is exactly why. You've seen one of the few times that Giannis was actually very, very upset with the front office in Milwaukee is when they let go of Jason Kidd. Remember that. Spencer Dinwiddie had 30 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jalen Brunson had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And I want to also give major props to the Dallas front office. They traded Kristaps Porzingis because him and Luka just didn't fit. It didn't work. And in return, got Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. And that's made an incredible difference for the Mavericks season and in the playoffs. Spencer Dinwiddie showed out in the first round, showed out in the second round, or all the games at home, and then in Game 7 because that's one of the main reasons why I was just like I wasn't confident that the Mavericks would win, but I genuinely truly wanted them to win because of the simple fact that I just don't fuck with the Suns. I know I'm supposed to remain biased, but I do not fuck with the Suns, none. And I was just so happy to see Spencer get going. I was watching the game from home, and I was just like, wow. Could not fucking never in my wildest dreams, and I've had some really crazy dreams. Never in my wildest dreams did I see this happening. But oh man, the Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord works in mysterious ways. The Mavericks defense held the Suns to 27 points at halftime. You know how hard it is to hold a team to 27 points in the first quarter, let alone halftime? And Luka Doncic had 27 points at halftime. That's the exact same amount of points that the Suns had the whole first half. The whole first half. Luka had 35 points in 3 quarters. Didn't even step on the fucking court in the fourth quarter. Game was over at halftime. The Mavs defense was incredible. They trapped and doubled D-Book every time he damn near touched the ball. They threw bigger bodies at Christopher Emmanuel Paul. Made him work on both ends of the floor. Anytime Luka had whoever Chris Paul was being guarded by, they were going to attack. They were going to get the ball and attack. The Mavericks just went out and proved Chris Paul's old ass should not be relied on significantly in no playoff series. And hey man, it was the truth. It all came. Everything that was supposed to happen happened. Everything that was supposed to happen happened. So, bro, hey, shout out to the Mavericks. Shout out to the front office. Shout out to the owner, shout out to Mark Cuban, the owner. Shout out to the front office. Shout out to Jason Kidd. Shout out Luka. Shout out Spencer. Shout out Jalen. Shout out all the role players on the Mavericks. Because the Mavericks, I love it. I love it. The last time the Mavericks won a playoff series. Last time the Mavericks won a playoff series was 11 years ago when they won an NBA championship. And they won 4 of them that year. That was the greatest playoff run I've ever seen. And to see them back again, having success in the playoffs is great. Especially with my little brother, Luka Doncic, my Slovenian brother, doing his thing like this. Oh, yes. Now, to the Phoenix fucking Suns. The number 1 seed in the Western Conference, 64 wins, set franchise history. I'm not calling him CP3 anymore. Christopher Emmanuel Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton combined for 6 points at the half for 1 of 15 from the field. At the end of the game, all these people combined for 26 points. This might be the worst Game 7 performance I've ever seen in my fucking 20 years of watching the NBA basketball. I've never seen no shit like this. I ain't never, ever seen no shit like this. This game was literally with proof that Phoenix didn't show up. The Dallas Mavericks were able to get 23 second chance points. The Dallas Mavericks, the Phoenix Suns were only able to score 27 points in the first half. They were fucking terrible. Like, terrible. I don't even, and I said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Chris Paul is a fucking choke artist. Chris Paul is a fucking choke artist. Chris Paul, and here's why I never believed in the Suns. Last year, every team that the Suns played, besides the finals, was missing a key player in their rotation. The Lakers did not have Anthony Davis. And mind you, at the point that the Lakers lost Anthony Davis, they were up 2-1 on the series, had a 10-point lead in the game, and they were thoroughly giving it to the Suns. And if AD doesn't get hurt, they probably win that game, and they go up 3-1 in that series. The next round, the Suns play the Nuggets. They sweep them. The Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray. Series would have been completely different if the Suns had Jamal Murray. If the Nuggets had Jamal Murray. The next round, the Suns go up 2-0. Then the Clippers storm back and even up the series at 2-2. Then Kawhi gets hurt. Suns win and go to the finals. The Suns go up 2-0 against the Bucks, then get swept the rest of the way. The Suns are fucking choke artists. Chris Paul is a choke artist. Devin Booker is a fucking choke artist. DeAndre Ayton, nowhere to be found. Mikal Bridges couldn't hit a fucking shot. Jay Crowder is a fucking clown. Cam Johnson was just getting dragged up and down the court by Luka Doncic. I could not believe what the fuck I was watching. Hey, and this by far was the worst performance I've ever seen in Game 7 history. The worst performance. This shit was like the worst outputting I've seen in a long time. This shit is worse than what the Clippers did in the bubble. This shit is way worse. This shit is what the Suns were the number 1 seed. And they were playing against an inferior team. And then to have a game, like, mind you, the bubble is the bubble. There's no home fans, nothing. To lose Game 7 on your home court in front of your home crowd the way you did, and to be at one point down by 50 fucking points. Oh my God. You could have pitched me, I wouldn't have thought that shit was real. You could have pitched me, I wouldn't have thought that shit was real. I don't even have no words to say to put it to how, like, my reaction as to how I was watching the game besides, oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Oh my God, what happened to Phoenix? They're fucking ass. The Phoenix Suns were frauds, pretenders. The Phoenix Suns, anybody who bought tickets to that Game 7, they deserve a refund. They deserve a refund, honestly. Honestly, they deserve a refund. With that being said, my name is Michael DeLue. This concludes episode 99 of Pull Up the Tape. Long live my brother. You already know how I'm rocking. You already know how I'm coming. Hey, long live Kobe. Long live Gigi. Long live Nip. Long live Pop Smoke. Whoa. Free Chef G. Free Pooh Shiesty, nigga. I'm out this bitch.